I wanted to welcome everybody today. Welcome to this event, Recipes from Brooklyn and Beyond. So this is a storytelling event through Life Story Club and Brooklyn Public Library, sponsored by Apple Bank. And we are still admitting people. People are still sort of trickling in. So as we're getting rolling here, I just wanted to mention to all of you that as people are entering, we're muting you upon entry, and everyone except for storytellers or people who are speaking is going to stay muted. And the reason for this is, so this event is being recorded today, so it's being recorded so others will be able to access it. So if the storytellers would like to send this to any friends or family who is not here today, we'll send you the link for you to be able to do that. And also because we are putting together a recipe book with all of these stories and recipes in that book. So we do ask that you stay muted while you're not speaking. And then, so although this event is being recorded, your Zoom box or your photo, your image will not show up on the recording unless you speak at the event. So no worries there. If you have concerns about privacy, I just recommend that instead of, if anybody has any questions at any point, that you just ask in the chat. And then also keep this in mind later on in the event, because at the end of the event, we're going to open things up for a Q&A. So if you are someone who has any concerns about privacy, not wanting yourself to be on video, we would recommend asking your question if you have one in the chat. Otherwise, we welcome spoken questions as well. Anyway, so let's get down to why we are here. So again, welcome to Recipes from Brooklyn and Beyond. This is an hour-long storytelling and recipe share event where you will hear the fabulous life stories and recipes from some wonderful cooks, bakers, and storytellers who I've had the pleasure of working with these past few weeks. And again, so this event is put on by Life Story Club and Brooklyn Public Library, and it is so generously sponsored by Apple Bank. And now I'm going to introduce Lyman Claiborne, who is the coordinator of the Services for Older Adults department at Brooklyn Public Library, to say a few words and also to introduce today's sponsor. So welcome, Lyman.
Thank you, Linnea. I'm happy to be here. I am Lyman Claiborne. I am the coordinator of Services for Older Adults at Brooklyn Public Library, and we are happy to have all of you here today. Thank you to my colleagues who work tirelessly behind the scenes. That would be Judy Vigo, Wanda, and Inez. Thank you, ladies, for keeping this program going behind the scenes with all that you do. And thanks to Linnea, Trevor, Lily, and the Life Story Club people. We really enjoy that. I think we may even have a special guest from Brooklyn Public on today, Samantha from our development department, Samantha Dodds, and she's very helpful to us also behind the scenes. We couldn't have this program without the support and partnership with Apple Bank. Yes, we have Sue Fantazzi here today, who is Vice President and Branch Manager of the Apple Bank branch located at 414 Flushing Avenue. Celia joined Apple Bank in 2018 and has 20 years of service experience for the area. Her extensive retail banking experience committed to personalized service have earned her a loyal customer base. Celia is committed to furthering Apple Bank's media and make a difference in the current MSc classes to students of all ages in the community. Brooklyn native Celia currently resides in Canarsie. Her husband, she is a parent, 2 children. She loves her grandson and her second.
Lyman, you're frozen.
Hello,
Your
Lyman.
sign
Can
is
you hear
in and
me?
out.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me? This is Celia Fantazzi from Apple Bank.
Yes, we can hear you, Cecilia. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
great.
trying to
My
let Lyman know.
apologies.
Okay, go
Okay.
on. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry about the video. I don't have any video. My computer at the job does not have a camera. But I'd like to thank Lyman for introducing me, and to the Brooklyn Public Library for having me speak at this wonderful event. Again, my apologies for my camera not being not working today. But everyone can hear me though. Is that right? Everyone can hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, great. Again, my name is Celia Fantazzi. I'm the Vice President Branch Manager at Apple Bank's Flushing Avenue branch in Brooklyn. My branch is one of the 18 Apple locations in Brooklyn. And, I'm just thinking back about the Brooklyn Public Library, and I could remember as a kid walking to the local public library to find information for school reports, to take out books, or just to meet up with some of my friends. Since starting with Apple Bank, I feel like everything has come full circle now, because now in my adult life, I have a chance to give back, in a sense, through Apple Bank sponsorship with the Brooklyn Public Library events. My ties to Brooklyn make me extremely proud. I work at Apple Bank. I've lived in Brooklyn all of my life. Apple Bank serves the greater New York area for over 150 years. Apple Bank and the Brooklyn Public Library have had a terrific partnership and a similar mission. So we both seek to address the needs of individuals and businesses, and we both continue to invest to improve the quality of life in the communities. For the past 6 years, Apple Bank has been a proud sponsor of the Brooklyn Public Library's programs and has partnered to provide the borough's 2.6 million residents with quality services and vibrant learning environment. We have sponsored programs such as the World Language Festival, the Language Line Referral Service, Community Cooking Series, and Creative Aging. I remember myself, since I joined Apple Bank, I participated in some of the Chinese New Year's events that took place in Bay Ridge as well. So many of these programs expand our mind, indulge our creativity, and are more important than ever in today's environment. During a time when we, had to stay apart because of everything going on with, the pandemic, these virtual workshops have helped us stay connected. And again, my apologies for no camera. But Apple Bank is honored to support the innovative Brooklyn Public Library team in finding safe ways to bring all of these valuable programs to community members like you. So thank you, Brooklyn Public Library. Thank you, Layman, for having us be a part of this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Celia, and thank you so much to Apple Bank for sponsoring this event and this series. It's just been fabulous. And so many fabulous recipes have been shared over these past few weeks, and you're about to hear some of them today, so I'm really excited for that. So again, my name is Linnea. I'm the program director at Life Story Club, and I wanted to just say a few words about Life Story Club before we get started today. So our mission as an organization and nonprofit is to promote healthy aging, combat ageism, and reduce social isolation amongst older adults. So our Life Story Clubs are remote social groups designed for individuals ages 50 plus to form meaningful connections through storytelling. And at Life Story Club, storytelling is our primary focus. We do lots of different groups in different places. We run our story clubs with various different community organizations and centers. And we also run some independently. So if you or any loved ones are interested in sharing or telling stories, we really strongly encourage you to check out some of the events that we run. I'm going to drop a link in the chat for our events page because we have a lot of exciting stuff coming up. We have independent groups. We also have more groups coming up in the fall with Brooklyn Public Library that we're excited about too. So yes, please check us out and keep an eye on programming and all that because it's a lot of fun. So moving on, what you're about to see today is the culminating event for the Create a Legacy Cookbook series that we have been doing with Brooklyn Public Library, again, sponsored by Apple Bank, where participants shared recipes and the stories that go along with them based on the many prompt questions that I have been posing to them week after week. So I've asked questions like, what are some recipes that were passed down from a loved one? Or what's a dish you like to make when it's too hot to be in the kitchen? And this group that we've been working with has so generously answered those questions and shared the recipes week after week. And a common refrain in this group has become, I'm really hungry. Just hearing so many delicious recipes and seeing these delicious visuals, having a mid-afternoon workshop like the one we've had, it makes you really hungry. So as you're listening to these stories today, I highly recommend that you grab a snack, maybe a cup of tea, because the stories that you're about to hear are sure to be a treat. And I am beyond excited to introduce this fabulous group of storytellers to you. And you can see the lineup in the text. We'll hear from Perry, Anna, Marina, Hyacinth, Teresa, and finally, Wanda. And without further ado, let's get started. So the first person in our lineup is Perry Rivera from Northridge, California. So Perry learned how to cook growing up with his mom and dad. He enjoys cooking and baking classes and enjoys helping friends make things with an Instant Pot and an air fryer. And take it away, Perry.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to speak here. And thank you, Linnea, for that great introduction. I'm happy to share some of the things I learned while on my cooking adventures with my mom and dad. Basically, growing up with a limited budget, a lot of times our family would be scrambling to put together some dishes based off of previous leftovers or make new ones. So this particular one that's coming up is one that my mom would cook frequently throughout my childhood. It's called pancit canton. It's a noodle dish, kind of like a lo mein, if you've ever had that before in a Chinese restaurant. It's made with similar flour sticks. But with I guess the family spin that I've grown traditionally with, and it's a very versatile dish. Let's see, Linnea, can you share that recipe now, please? Perfect. So basically, the ingredients are oil, very chopped up vegetables, onion, garlic, meat or meatless type of equivalent, chicken or another meatless equivalent, and a frozen shrimp or another meatless equivalent, and then soy sauce, or some type of tamari is helpful. Chicken broth or a soup equivalent, vegan equivalent works great too, like mushroom or just a vegetable soup. Riced cauliflower, frozen broccoli, mushrooms, truffle powder, the actual package of noodles, which is a pancit canton, and shallot pepper seasoning, garlic salt with parsley, Worcestershire sauce, veggie oyster sauce, and frozen peas. Now, if you don't have all the ingredients here, that's perfectly fine. This is the type of recipe where you can mix in and mix out based on what you have. And if you have a lot more of some particular leftover, go ahead and swap that in or swap that out. If you have, for the recipe, you soak any dried mushrooms about 30 minutes prior, rinse them twice, drain and set aside. Fresh mushrooms, of course, work much better, but whatever happens to be in your pantry. And then you smash the fresh garlic and mince it. And in a Walker large frying pan, heat the oil on medium heat. Saute the garlic and the onions on low heat until slightly brown, but don't burn it. Then add the meats or veggie meats and brown them, and season with parsley, garlic powder. And then add soy sauce, tamari, and stir it. And then make the chicken broth and add it, and then add the mushrooms if you are a mushroom fan, and add reserved chicken water. And then finally add frozen veggies and saute until it's soft. Almost soft, actually. Just a little side note there, because if you saute it when it's soft and then add the rest of the ingredients, it might be wilty at the very end. So just cook it, just undercook it just a little bit. And then add fresh veggies and saute it for a little bit more. And the goal is just before al dente. So like just before soft once again. And then you break the noodles and you add them and cook it until the liquid is absorbed by the noodles and the noodles are tender but not squishy. So you'll know if it's too squishy, if it's like the difference between al dente for spaghetti versus like soggy. So and then remove it from heat and then season with shallot seasonings, any remaining sauces above that you happen to have, and then salt and pepper to taste. And the pictures below show, this is me actually cooking it last night because I wanted to show the process here. Basically, I threw the onions and garlic in, sauteed it for a little bit. The second picture shows me breaking up the noodles. And notice you can use the whole bag of noodles, or if you want, you can just use a little bit. In my particular case, this audience tends to not have too much in the way of carbs. So I just added just a little bit of noodles just for taste. And then you can Ziploc the rest to keep that fresh for the next noodle adventure. And then you start cooking it down until you get to the final dish. And then you can either, in this particular case, I used it as a side dish, but this is a complete meal. If you want, you could just serve this, and also great to take to parties. Other than that, yeah, we enjoyed very much cooking this with our family, and I'm so grateful to be able to share this experience with you. Thank you so much, Life Story Club. Take care.
Thank you very much, Perry, for sharing that wonderful, wonderful recipe with us.
Thank you.
So we're going to move on to Anna. So Anna Wade started baking cakes at a very young age, and her first cake was a pineapple coconut. Today, she is presenting one of her other favorites, the lemon pound cake with a lemon glaze. And this is an amazing recipe. Everyone take note.
Hello, I'm happy to be with you all today, sharing one of my favorite cakes. Over the years, I have baked many cakes: a German chocolate cake, carrot cake, and cookies. But today I'm sharing the favorite lemon pound cake that's shared with my friend Vaughn and I. So we're starting off with the lemon pound cake, and we do it with the lemon glaze. We're going to make the glaze first. So Lanier, if you can show the recipe. So I start off with making the lemon glaze with the ingredients. Back down. The ingredients. Okay. Ingredients is 1 tablespoon of melted butter, 1 teaspoon of lemon peel, grated lemon zest, 1/2 teaspoon of lemon extract, 2 tablespoons of dark rum, optional, 1 cup of confectionery sugar, 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, coconut shavings, optional also. So instructions for the lemon glaze. With the wooden spoon, beat lemon peel into melted butter. Add the lemon extract and rum, which is optional, to the melted butter. Mix well. Gradually add the confectionery sugar. Stir, mixing with the wooden spoon. Beat until smooth. Add 1 tablespoon at a time until you have achieved the desired consistency. Mix until smooth, not too thick and not too watery. Set aside the following instructions for the lemon pound cake. Now we go to prepare the lemon pound cake. 1 small box of lemon jello, 3/4 cups of hot water, 1 box of Duncan Hines Lemon Supreme cake mix, 3/4 cups of Wesson natural oil blend, 4 whole eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of lemon extract, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, and 1 teaspoon of lemon flavoring. Instructions for the cake. Combine the jello and hot water in a glass bowl and allow it to dissolve. Mix steadily and allow it to cool. Sift the cake mix 3 times. Pour into the electric mixing bowl and adjust speed to 1 1/2. Add the jello mix to the cake mix. Mix well. Add the oil and mix. Add the eggs 1 at a time and beat well after each. Add the extracts and juices. Continue beating for 4 minutes more. Preheat oven at 325 conventional oven. Pour the batter into a greased pan. Lightly tap the pan on the corner to settle the batter. Place on 4th rack in the oven. Bake for about 40 to 50 minutes or until the cake begins to pull away from the sides of the pan. You test it with a skewer. After baking, remove from oven. Leave the cake in the pan, allow to rest on a wire rack for 10 minutes. Poke holes in the cake with a skewer while it is still warm. Remove cake from the pan and place on a cake dish, drizzling the glaze over the cake, letting it run down the sides. You can also use a brush to paste the glaze on. Smooth the glaze evenly on the top of the cake while the cake is still warm so that the glaze will absorb in the cake via the holes. Garnish cake with coconut shavings, optional. Allow cake to cool completely for about 30 minutes before slicing. And please have a slice and enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks,
very much.
Leah.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm going to show everyone this image one last time. Looks delicious.
Thank you.
Okay. So we're going to move on to Marina. So Marina has been sharing recipes with us for the past few weeks and consistently has an amazing, delicious recipe to share. And today she'll be talking about spinach empanadas. Take it away, Marina.
Thank you. I'm Marina Thomas, a proud member of Philip Howard Nork. And today I'm going to share. Leanna, did you get the copy of the recipe? No?
I did. I'm bringing it up right now. Here we go.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, this was brought on by when my son was a teenager. He had asked me to make something a group he was in. They were having something for Black History Month. And I had never done this before, and I decided I would try it. And since then, I think a lot of my friends and relatives have enjoyed it. So we would start with the pastry. We use 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese softened, 3/4 cup butter or margarine softened, 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. For the filling, we are going to use 1/4 cup of finely chopped onion, 3 cloves of garlic minced, 4 to 5 slices of bacon cooked and crumbled. Reserve 1 tablespoon bacon drippings, 1 10-ounce package of frozen spinach, thawed and drained, 1 8-ounce container of cottage cheese, which is 1 cup, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, an 1/8 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and 1 egg beaten. So to make the pastry in a large mixing bowl, beat together the cream cheese and butter or margarine with an electric mixer until smooth. Gradually beat in the flour and salt. Knead the dough lightly by hand. Cover the dough with plastic wrap and refrigerate for about 3 hours. You can do it for less. It's just to hold it together. And for the filling, in a medium skillet, cook the onions and garlic in the reserved bacon drippings for 3 to 4 minutes or until the onion is tender but not brown. Stir in the crumbled bacon, the spinach, cottage cheese, pepper, and nutmeg. Let the mixture cool. Next, we are going to roll out the pastry on a light floured surface, excuse me, until it is about 1 inch thick. Using a 3-inch biscuit cutter, cut out as many pastry circles as possible. Place 1 teaspoon of the filling on 1/2 of the circle. Moisten the edge of the circle with the egg and fold over. Place the pastries on an ungreased baking sheet. Gently seal the edges of the empanadas with the tines of a fork. Brush the empanadas with the egg. Use the tines of the fork to prick a small vent in each at the top of the empanadas. Bake in a 450 degrees oven for 10 to 12 minutes until the empanadas are golden brown. Hope you'll enjoy it if you try it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marina, for that fabulous recipe for us. Excellent, excellent. All right. So moving on. So the next person in our lineup is Hyacinth, who is a happily retired dietitian from healthcare who worked as a clinical nutrition manager, responsible for clinical and some food service areas. She is a grandma to a wonderful 2-year-old girl and loves cooking and baking for family and friends. So Hyacinth, take it away. I am going to pull your visual up now.
So as Linnea said, my name is Hyacinth John, and I'm so excited to have been participating with our Life Story Club as a member of Philip Howard Noah. Anna influenced me to do pictures of my recipe that I'm going to share with you today. So I made coconut buns, and here we go. Just wanted to say that I like baking, and usually I'm the person baking for my family, especially at Christmas time. So this is one of the recipes that I do and I share with my family and friends. So the ingredients: It's you're going to use 1 freshly grated coconut, a stick of margarine, which is 4 ounces, a cup of evaporated milk, 1.5 cups sugar, 3 eggs, just lightly, a tablespoon of baking powder, and 3 cups of flour. I have no idea where it went on the same line. 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon nutmeg, and vanilla flavoring to your liking. 1/2 cup of raisins or currants, optional. So we're going to preheat. This is a method. So we're going to preheat oven 350 degrees Fahrenheit and prepare 2 8x5 loaf pans by greasing well. Or as you can see in the picture, you can use 2 mini loaf pans to replace 1 large pan of the loaf pan. You're going to put grated coconut into a mixing bowl. Add the milk, margarine, and sugar to grated coconut and mix well. Just mix it very well. Add the slightly beaten eggs, vanilla, and raisins. Continue to mix well. Then you add all your dry ingredients and mix that very well. Pour into 2 of the 2 well-greased 8x5 loaf pans, or if you're using the mini ones, so then it will be 4 mini ones, or the combination of those. Want to bake it in preheated oven for approximately 3/4 to 1 hour. Now, I like mine really dark, so I would probably let mine go to 1 hour because I just like it nice and dark brown. You want to check with a small skewer for doneness. Remove from the pans, and then you want to put it on a wire rack to cool. So I like to have mine nice and warm, or if you're having it later in the day, if you want it, have it with ice cream or some type of preserve on it, however you like it. So I hope you try it and enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing that wonderful, so many tasty recipes today. Okay, so we're moving right along to the next person in our lineup, who is Teresa. So Teresa is one of many New York City Italian Americans cherishing family recipes. So she has fond memories of family and food. Every time she bakes the Christmas cookies she is going to share with you all, she feels all of her loved ones are there. She hears the laughter, she tastes the love. So Teresa, please take it away with your Italian cookie recipe. And Teresa, I'm going to invite you to unmute.
What are you talking about? You're on a Butrans fast, right?
Teresa? Are you there, Teresa? All right, Teresa, we invite you to share if you are ready.
She's
right.
unmuted. Yeah.
I believe we might be having some technical difficulties with Teresa. Unfortunately, we can try coming back to you at the very end, but for now, let's just move right along to the next person in our lineup, which is Wanda. So Wanda is a retiree who works part-time with Brooklyn Public Library Older Adult Services, and she enjoys actively participating in a wide variety of programs that allow for opportunities for creative art expression. And I'm going to add that I worked with Wanda for a few of these Life Story Club series. And Wanda, you've been such a delight to work with. I've really enjoyed getting to know you in this context. So here we go. Let's get started. And I'm going to share your visual. Take it away, Wanda.
Okay, so first, again, I want to thank Apple Bank, and I want to thank you, Linnea, and Life Story Club, and also our Brooklyn Public Library Older Adult Services, Lyman Claiborne, and special thanks to Judith Vigo for assigning me to work in this tasty, delicious workshop. So now that we've heard all the wonderful recipes, I'm going to share some gravy to just add on top of all of it. It's called Southern Thick Brown Family Gathering Gravy, and it requires no prep, it's no mess, it's no stress, and it's a very organic process that serves multiple generations. What you're looking at on the screen is a page from a scrapbook that's just about family, you know, who family are. So, and that stems from years of family reunions and family and friends day and just family gatherings from around the age of 10, right on, most of them taking place in the summers, right on up to the summer pre-COVID. So here we go. And ingredients for a delightful, all-inclusive family friends meet and greet. 1 or more farm-raised traditionalists. That's the greatest in the silent generations, born 1901 to 1946. 1 or more mildly seasoned baby boomers, 1946 to 1964. 1 or more spicy sauteed Generation X, 1965 to 1979. 1 or more robust caramelized millenniums, Generation Y, 1980 to 1995. 1 or more gigabytes of sharp, refreshing Zoomers, Generation Z, 1996 to 2009. And 1 barrel of tender alphas, 2010 to 2025. You can adjust the ingredients according to the existing crops or your existing generations. Additional ingredients: generous portions of peppery greetings, ripened wisdoms, pungent prayer, mouth-watering gratitude, and other delicious virtues. And here are the instructions, and you can substitute as needed with any tasty, free-flowing ingredients. Add bunches of sliced watermelon smiles, warm, squashy hugs, lip-smacking honey kisses, mouthfuls of howdy, hi, hello, hey, well-done handshakes, gentle pats, smothered group hugs, and even pinches of bittersweet tears, while concocting mix and mingle boil. Savor the flavor, simmer, cool, and settle naturally. Infuse with a serving of age, wisdom, and fruitful matriarch prayer. Layer generous portions of generational gratitude and drench with some good old hot, greasy fried laughter. Sprinkle crystals of encouragement, inspiration, and kindness throughout the mixture and blend until thick and smooth, then glaze with hearts full of love. Pour gravy generously over all meals and activities, including travel. Now, this can be served with appetizer, entree, breakfast, lunch, dinner, buffet, sit down, whatever. And you can refrigerate the crumbs or the leftovers, but do not freeze. The ingredients are best when thawed. And note that the generation years used above are not universal, and they vary slightly depending on source of research. I'll just go out and enjoy a tasty meal, and just don't forget this gravy.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you very, very much, Wanda, for sharing that with us.
That's the best. The
It
best.
I agree.
Was
I agree.
awesome.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you all.
So,
Yes. It's mouth watering.